Up to
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir.
Okay, let's start the class. Today we will discuss about trends and patterns. Have you any idea what trend is and what pattern is? Actually, mostly these two terms are used with each other, and sometimes people are confused about their distinction. So, what is trend and what is pattern? Trends and patterns of urbanization, global urbanization, we are talking about. What is trend and what is pattern?
So trends will be the direction in which urban area is expanding,
Yes, direction in
and
urban area is expanding. Yes,
not only direction, but what are the different aspects, you can say.
aspects. Anyone else? And pattern is what is pattern?
Pattern will be the physical structure.
Physical structure. Okay, Ruben, do you agree with what Atik is saying? Yes. Arubad, do you agree with what Atik is saying? Yes.
The the pattern also means that's a way and as a way in something which happened. So, like in
Weighing
past, also,
something which.
something happens or is done, the repeated in regular regularly something.
And train.
Uh, no idea, sir. Right.
Yes. Actually, these are very distinctive terms. They are very different. They are simple terms, but they are very different with each other. So, what is trend and what is pattern? Any other opinion about it?
Trend is taken at a certain point, an analysis of a certain point, what's going on.
Trend is.
Trends, yes.
And what is pattern?
Pattern, I will stick to the earlier one, the physical structure.
Yes. So, what is actually where you heard the term pattern or trend? Have you heard these terms earlier? Actually, these are two different terms, and there is a very simple distinction between these two terms. Can you see the board? Yes, can you see the board? Can you see
Yes,
what
sir.
I am writing? What is written here? Can you see?
Today the camera is hazy, kind of.
Yes, hazy.
The wipe is one
Um,
hazy.
Now, can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is written there? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me make it more clear. So, can you see clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is trend and what are patterns? If very simple, it's very simple. If we plot world population growth on a graph, world population growth on a graph, on a simple graph, suppose this, any population growth on this, in this is population and this is year. Suppose this population in billions and it is year 1911, 21, 31, Any. So this is the trend where the population is growing, where the growth is growing. What is the trend? Trend gives us the facility of projecting it. Suppose it is until 2021. Now we can assume that this trend will continue. This is the trend. Rujhan. Do you know Rujhan? Trend is Rujhan. You must have heard this term in election analysis.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The trend is Rujhan, where the results are going. So we can predict. Suppose this is 2021. We want to know that what it will be like 2051. We can assume that this trend will continue because this is continuing from a long time. So we have all the reasons to believe that this trend will continue. So what we can do? We can extend this line, and this population is the likely population of 2051. You can apply it in world's population. You can apply it in the demand of something. You can apply anywhere where a trend is there. That is the trend. Is that clear? Trend is Rujhan, and trend gives us the facility of predicting it, the future growth, future projection. Future growth projection, we can project the future population. Am I clear? Am I getting to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Any doubt?
No, sir.
It is the trend. World population is growing because our world urbanization is growing. In India, urbanization is on the growth. Indian urbanization is growing. India is being urbanized. World urbanization is growing very fast. So we can predict that in future it will be more what it is today. Okay, so that is the trend. Rujhan, that is the trend. You clear about trend? Any trend it can be. Your marks, your income, the sale of your shop, any trend. Urbanization, world population, any trend. That is Rujhan, where the things are going. In what direction the things are going. It is going up, maybe something is decreasing, then that is the trend. It is decreasing trend. It is increasing trend. Okay? Suppose a thing is plateauing. It was increased in the beginning and now it is plateaued. Then it is the trend. You can predict that it will go like that. Your weight. Okay? People watch weights. That is the trend, Rujhan, where the things are growing, where the world population is growing, where the world urbanization is going. In 2050, what it will be, we can predict. Maybe some other factor come and the trend changes, but it is the trend. We can predict the future. And what is the pattern? Have you heard about the word pattern anywhere? What is the pattern?
The manner in which the urbanization is taking place.
Yes, yes. Yes, what is pattern? Yes.
The series of data that repeat in a
Series of data that repeats itself. Yes. Pattern, and where you have heard the word pattern? In clothes, in design. There is a certain pattern. Suppose in design this pattern emerges. That is the pattern. Suppose in a design this pattern emerges. That is the pattern. The repeated trend can be also a pattern. This is the pattern. The repetition. What is occurring again and again. What pattern is also the characteristic, a salient feature. What is the pattern? Okay. Am I clear? So what trend is? Trend is the rujhan, and pattern is the repeating phenomenon, the phenomena, repeating data. Someone used the term data, repeating data. You're very correct. Repeating data. Okay. So that is the pattern, and trend is the rujhan, where the things are going. कहाँ जा रही हैं चीज़ें, कहाँ डेटा जा रहा है, that is trend. And what is the pattern? Pattern is the repeating data, almost exactly repeating data with some variation. That is the pattern. Pattern in design, city design, pattern is there. If you go to Europe, almost all cities of Europe follow the same design. There are many similarities in city design. So that is the pattern. So I'm clear about that. Are you clear about it?
Yes,
What
sir.
is pattern and what is the distinction between the? These are two terms. So these are used with each other somehow, but these are two terms, two distinct terms. Trend is rujhan and pattern is the repeated, and repeated trend can also be a pattern. Okay, repeated design, repeated morphology, that is the pattern. That is the pattern. Any data or any trend which is repeating itself, that is a pattern. You can predict the pattern also. That is the pattern. So, what are the trend in world urbanization? Where it is going? It is increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Increasing.
It is increasing or decreasing? World population is increasing. Urbanization and world population also. It is decreasing or increasing? World urbanization is decreasing or increasing?
Increasing.
Increasing.
It is increasing. World is becoming more and more urbanized. It is predicted that till around 2050, year 2050, the world will be almost 80% urbanized. And 80% mean we can say the whole world will be urbanized. There will be some patches of rural areas, agrarian areas, but almost 80%, almost whole of the world will be urbanized. India's urbanization is also increasing day by day. With each passing year, India is being more and more urbanized. We can say that in 2050, India will be more than 50, say 60-70% urbanized. Because India is a agrarian country, maybe it will not catch up with the world in 2050. Maybe we can predict it to some extent. So India will also be very urbanized. It will be 50, 60, 70% organized. Okay. And what are the trends? Trend is increasing trend about urbanization and about population growth both. So what is the pattern? So pattern, we have discussed that pattern is sometimes characteristics, salient features of because it is not design only, it is the phenomena, it is the phenomenon. So first pattern is, you can say that more than half of the world population lives in urban areas. First pattern, what emerges, first characteristic about urbanization is, if you cannot see the board, please tell me. I will adjust the camera.
So I think wipe
It's
the
not.
camera.
It's not visible properly.
So wipe the lens once. I think it's getting blurry.
It is getting blurred. Why it is getting blurred? Not able to understand. Why it is getting blurred? Maybe it is some.
Now it's to
Let
some
me-
extent clear.
Now it is clear. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
I've increased the light. Maybe it is more clear now. So
Yes, sir.
most of the world population is lives in urban areas, urban systems, and it is increasing. So what is the pattern? Most of the population of world lives in urban areas. It is the pattern, and it is increasing. It is the trend. And one more pattern is the urban population of, most of the urban growth is taking place in where most of the urban growth is taking place. Yes, it is
In the
mostly
flourishing economies.
it is mostly taking place in developing economy, Asia, developing part of the world, Asia, Africa. Most of the fastest growing cities we can find in Asia, in developing bloc. It is urbanizing fast because it was not much urbanized earlier. Now it is urbanizing fast. So it is in Asia most of the urban growth lies, and in Asia and India also, second tier cities, small cities, slightly small cities are growing faster. Small cities are growing faster. Why that is so? Why increase small cities are growing faster? Why big cities are not going faster? Yes. Why small cities are more? Yes.
So the small cities are the transforming age.
Yes.
It is very easy to transform from a rural economy to the urban economy.
Yes, it is.
That's-
In the beginning, the growth is fast. In percentage wise, in the beginning, the growth is faster. Okay? So it is growing faster in Asia. The most of the urbanization is taking place in Asia, and in Asia and India also, second tier cities or smaller cities are growing faster. That is a pattern is emerging. Developing economy are being urbanized at a rapid rate, and there is another pattern. City problems with growth, problems are increasing, city issues are increasing with the growth. These are very simple to decipher. Problems are increasing. Like, which are the main city problems are Yes.
Pollution, sir. Pollution.
Pollution.
Accommodation, proper accommodation for everyone.
Yes. Pollution.
Drainage problem.
Housing. Pollution. Housing. And
Natural hazards when it
Drainage problem.
hazards. Yes. Floods. We have, we have talked about
diseases
why urban
which
flood
spread
is
very
more prominent. Hazards and
diseases spread very rapidly.
diseases, yes. The pandemic and epidemic are increasing very fast. Yes. And
So the bird is cropping out.
yes,
So the bird is cropping out.
what you're saying, I cannot hear you.
So the bird is cropping out. Yes, yeah. Now it's
Okay,
visible.
okay. Board was not visible. Yes. Uh, when the board is not visible, tell me, I will adjust the orientation. Diseases, hazards, housing, pollution, congestion,
Sir,
traffic,
crime, sir.
traffic jams.
Sir, crime.
So, yes,
Sir, crimes, please, sir. Crimes.
drugs. Drugs you are saying.
Crime, sir. Crime, sir. Many kinds of crimes, like kidnapping, murdering.
Crime. Crime is increasing with increasing. And these are the negative things. Any positive thing is also increasing. Yes.
Better utilization of a place.
Better utilization of
Efficiency.
resources. It is being more and more efficient because we are
Economic diversification.
we are concentrating upon the efficient use of resources, so that efficient use of fuel, so that we can control the pollution arising out of them. Okay, and any other pattern images?
Urban areas are the more
Yes,
GDP contributing areas.
yes, and
Sir, better medical and education facilities.
yes, better education facilities. Yes, and most of the urban people where they live, most of the urban dwellers where they
Apartments.
live,
Apartments.
apartments in what type of cities most of the urban people are living. Yes, though the smaller cities are growing faster, but most of the urban population is still concentrated in most of the urban population is still concentrated in mega cities, big cities, Bombay, Karachi, London, New York, Paris, Calcutta, Kolkata, mega cities and metropolises. Most of the urban population is still living in metropolis and mega cities, metropolises and metro cities and mega cities. Most of the urban population still lives in mega cities in and metropolis cities. Why and the growth of these cities, the big cities, are taking place because of which methodology?
Migration.
Sir, occupation and
Yes,
Migration can.
migration, rural to urban migration, growth of the cities, and city expands to engulf the surrounding rural area. And there's one thing, suppose these are two big cities around 50 kilometers apart. Urban sprawl takes place. You can see the board now.
Yes, sir.
Urban sprawl takes place in connecting roads, and after a period of time, these cities became almost one. Two or three cities, man, suppose these cities become one large urban area. These cities are there, their identity is there, but if you go from one city to another city, you can see urban growth in between. Then these cities join each other to make conurbation. Conurbation. You will, if you are going from this city to this city, or you are going from this city to this city, or you are going from this city to this city, you can everywhere city, especially on the roads, urban development. So these cities have joined in one entity by the virtue of their growth, that is called conurbation. Okay, this conurbation. So it is a danger, maybe it's a possibility that in future around 2050, when world will be almost 80% or more urbanized, it is predicted that world will be urbanized around 80%, you can say it is around 100%, then what will happen? The world will become a big conurbation in itself. Our whole the world will be a big conurbation, a big entity, big urban entity with some patches in between rural areas or primary system areas. So that is the pattern in world's urban growth. And there is one more pattern. The urban problems are more prominent in where urban problems are more prominent in developing areas. In developing areas, problems are more prominent, and they are increasing day by day. Our cities are becoming unmanageable. Our cities are being unmanageable. So problems are going in. We will talk about this unmanageable situation in another class also.